Hi everyone, it's Chelsea from Little Mountain Ranch. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about preparedness and some of the things to consider to add to your pantry. But before I get into that, I just wanted to touch a little bit about what's going on out there in the world right now. For any of you that have been following my channel for a while, you know that I generally do not jump on bandwagons. I don't tend to make videos that are intended to go viral. I don't use clickbait or anything like that. But when there is a topic that comes up that I feel like impacts my audience and where I feel like I can maybe be of an assistance in some kind of way, I do want to talk about that. So I want to talk a little bit about fear right now, and a lot of the fear that I'm hearing from you guys. I'm hearing this from my Instagram. I'm hearing this from my friends in my, I don't know, you guys are part of my real life too, but in my real life out here. That just people feel really afraid because they don't know what is happening or what they're supposed to do or who to listen to. But I have found that the best way to combat fear is through knowledge and information. The more I educate myself, and I'm very choosy about where I get my education, but the more I educate myself about the things that are making me afraid, the less afraid I feel. And I think for a lot of people right now, feeling prepared will go a long way to alleviating fear. So I am sharing with you some of the things that I'm doing to be prepared for whatever might happen. And hopefully nothing does, but for whatever might happen. And it is doing wonders for my own fear levels as well. So I want to pass that on to you. And I'm really hopeful that you can take it in the way that I'm offering it. I'm not trying to fearmonger in any way, shape, or form. That whole fearmongering mentality that is out there right now is really, really detrimental to mental health. And mental health is as important as physical health is, in my opinion. And that's what I want to talk to you about today, is about how through our food storage, we can encourage mental and physical health, which are so incredibly important. We talk about food storage and we talk about beans and rice and canned food and all of that kind of stuff. And that's all good. But one of the areas that tends to get missed is with greens. Greens are one of the things that I personally think are one of the most powerful ways that I personally keep my body and my mind healthy, and that of my children and my husband. But when you go look in the grocery store right now, I can't believe this. We live in a little tiny town in the interior of British Columbia, and the grocery store had lots of stuff in it, but the aisle with the cleaning products and the toilet paper was completely stripped out. And then you go into the vegetable section and hardly anything's touched. And I don't really understand that mentality. I mean, I get you need cleaning products and toilet paper. These are pretty imperative. But in my mind, greens and health and nutrition are equally as imperative as toilet paper. So one of the things that I want to encourage you to do is to think a little bit more about greens in your food storage. And I'm going to show you some ways that I have greens in my food storage. I'm also going to do it basically on a scale starting from the easiest and least expensive ways to get greens all the way up to basically a grow room, which is what I'm going to show you the beginning of my grow room in my basement. One of the cheapest ways to get fresh greens into your diet in a way that you can actually have stored in your preparedness pantry is through sprouts. These are sprouts right here that I have been sprouting, and sprouts are really, really easy to do. These are little packs of seeds. This company, Mum's Sprouting Seed Company, I absolutely love. I cannot recommend these guys highly enough. But one of these little packages would do the average family for a month, for sure, if not longer. For our family, not quite as long, but that's okay. You just use 2 tablespoons in a mason jar like this, mix it with water, soak it for 6 to 12 hours, drain the water out, and then over about 3 to 7 days, depending on what kind of sprouts you're using, you just want to rinse your seeds off, drain the water out, rinse your seeds off, drain the water out twice a day. And you'll tip this, and I want to tip this because it's full of water, but on its side, have a lid that is perforated like this one. You can also use cheesecloth, works just as well, or a piece of fabric, just something that where air can get in and the extra liquid can get out. Tip it on its side in a sunny window, and you will have sprouts like this. These ones are some bigger seeds. There's lentils and what else is in here? Chickpeas, some bigger things. This one took 7 days, but that's quite a lot out of 2 tablespoons of seeds. And this is super awesome, dense nutrition in here. Nice living nutrition. So you can, pack of seeds like this costs about $5. And when you think that it's going to give you up to a month worth of greens, that is pretty darn good in my opinion. One of the things that you can go buy is leafy greens. This is kale here. When you are going grocery shopping, and buy them fresh from the fresh produce section. They are really, really inexpensive. You can buy any kind of dark leafy green. These ones are frozen. These are from my garden this past summer. All I do is I cut the spines off. That's that really thick piece down the middle. And then I blanch them in boiling water for 3 minutes and then dump them immediately into ice water. Let them cool off. Put them on a tray in the freezer and freeze them, and that's just so they don't clump together in the bag, and then put them in the bag after. You can put them straight into the bag too, it just clumps together. And then you have kale that you can add to smoothies, you can add to soups and stews, anything like that, and these is super, super dense, good green nutrition. One of the other ways that I store kale is I dehydrate it, and then I grind it into a fine powder, and I've calculated that 10 leaves equals 1 teaspoon of ground up kale like this. So this will store in my pantry all winter long. It doesn't take up a ton of space. I can't remember, this was full at the beginning of the winter. I cannot remember how many leaves we fit in here, but it was a massive amount. This is definitely the most space saving way to store kale that there is. But then you can add this into your smoothies. You can even just mix this with a cup of water. It doesn't taste very good, but if you just needed a shot of greens, you could do that. Super great way to get greens into your food storage. Sorry, my throat is a little dry at the moment. One of the other ways that you can get some extra nutrition into your diet, including greens, is through vitamins and supplements. I have a green supplement, and I don't actually have it sitting here with me right now, that I take if I'm just not eating enough greens for whatever reason. Vitamin D is another great way to boost your immune system. I just want to say right now, I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a professional in that way at all. This is just by my own personal experience. And I can tell you guys, when I am eating more greens, my mental health is just so much better. I feel so much better physically. So I personally think it is probably one of the most important considerations when thinking about your pantry and food storage, and something that I think really gets missed in pantry tour videos, including my own pantry tour videos. I've really missed sort of the greens. One of the other ways, my sister actually just texted me this morning because we were talking about this video. And she said one of the other things that you can do, there's a place called Organic Matters, and you can buy bulk organic food from 1/4 pound up to 25 pounds. You can do powdered greens, ascorbic acid, any kind of whole foods, and the prices are pretty good. And I think they have free shipping. That's for Canada. I will link a couple of American companies down in the description box below for you as well, as other ways to be able to get dried greens into your food storage, which I think is really important. And then one of the things that I'm doing, and I've been talking about this for a while, and I finally have it going, is starting a grow room in my basement. So I'm going to take you down there and show you what I have going on down there. We live on a farm, so I already have all of my dairy and my meat that I provide for our family off of our farm here. But greens is one area that I feel like I could improve upon, especially for in the winter months. This has been something that I have been wanting to do for a really long time, and it was basically cost that held me back. I'm able to fit 24 trays on this shelf, which is amazing, and I think it was around $120 or something for this rack, but again, I'll list that down below as well. These lights are not the fanciest lights, that is for sure, but they are bright enough to do what it is that I need to do. I honestly cannot remember the specs on my grow lights here, but I know that they were sufficient for the amount. It's lumens that you're looking for, the amount of light output from the lights that was enough to be able to handle the amount of space that I have each light on for. So I will let you know how it goes. They were not super expensive. I think they were $60 each or something around that price range. But again, I will also link those down in the description box below if you want to check them out. but I am not giving them my endorsement yet because I haven't seen how they actually work. But eventually what I want to do is have this entire space that you can see behind me here with shelves going all the way around so that I can grow enough greens for my family for the winter. That's kind of my goal. That would be amazing. So on top of all of the vegetables that I freeze and can, I'll also have fresh greens as well. So the final message that I want to leave you with is when you're considering food storage, do consider things like greens, like sprouts, like freezing things when you are going to the grocery store and you are kind of prepping up for whatever might happen. Keep greens in mind. It's not just about toilet paper and cleaning products. I think that health is phenomenally important, especially in times like these. I hope that was encouraging for all of you, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. And again, a welcome to all of you who are new here on this channel. And for those of you that are not subscribed, please consider subscribing and hit the bell notification down below so you can be notified when I put out videos. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Bye, guys.